Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
Black pride is self-love, and I'll explain why.
Black pride is the opposite of self-love.
Wise, thank you very much, Mr. White Man, for explaining to me about black pride. I's only got this third-grade education that you allowed me to get, sir. I'm so glad you was able to explain to me. You seem like a much better master than the one that I work for. Fuck you. Now that that's out the way, that condescending tone of white supremacy, yeah, you got it. Clearly, you don't know the definition of pride or love. You don't even know the definition of self-love. The fact that you made a video like this shows that you don't know what self-love is. But you do know hate and bigotry. I'm not sure what habited part of hell in the 1960s you came from, but you need to crawl your ass back there.
Let's talk about the argument that some people are just using neopronouns as an aesthetic. Honestly, I agree. It's likely that there's a lot of people using neopronouns as just an aesthetic, and that it doesn't actually bring them gender euphoria. However, and this is a big one, it's impossible to tell who is doing it for an aesthetic and who it genuinely brings gender euphoria to. It's just like the concept of a trans trender. You never know who's truly trans and who's actually just doing it for a trend. They may just act weird, and it's hurtful to accuse somebody of doing something that they're not. So it's best to just assume everyone is genuine, and if they really are doing it for a trend or aesthetic, let them grow out of it in their own time. Somebody could use neopronouns for a variety of reasons. Synesthesia isn't the only reason. And somebody could have synesthesia and not be neurodivergent. Hope this helps!
No, I don't. No, I don't. I've thought about that my whole life. Like, I've really run that one over a couple times, but I took a couple extra seconds just for you, buddy.
Who's gonna tell cis men on this app that being pretty is not feminism? Like, I keep seeing men wearing skirts and saying that they're, like, fighting toxic masculinity, but then I don't see them actually fighting toxic masculinity. Like, sure, wear a skirt if that feels good for you, but making a big deal out of wearing a skirt is actually perpetuating the thing you feel like you're fighting against. And I never see any of them, like, follow it up with, like, critical gender theory or, like, conversations about ways that they could be leveraging their privilege in society. I just see, like, thirst traps and them begging for likes.
Why the World is So Fucked Up Part 5. Throughout history, the animal kingdom has flourished an entire ecosystem made up of primarily two genders, except for the non-binary tiger, of course. But as the different animal groups came to be, the differences between men and women became clear. With few exceptions, male species display traits of dominance and competition, while women display more nurturing and passive traits. Nature encourages women to be attracted to these traits so that the strongest males can reproduce and the weakest can die off. But all that's been eliminated because some women decided that male traits are toxic.
Toxic masculinity.
Since then, men have been encouraged to replace traits such as aggression and dominance with care and empathy. The problem is that this shift is causing a radical decline in self-esteem amongst young men.
Look, our evolutionary biology does not change in a day, and so women still like dominant and strong men. There's plenty of toxic men out there, but to say masculinity itself is toxic is fucking pathetic. Men who bottle up their emotions or beat their wives, they're not masculine. That's just being a fucking idiot. Masculinity is about being a source of strength, being tough, being a protector. Men should be encouraged to do that. And if you disagree with that, then you can kiss my toxically.
If you, fuck up. I told you the fuck up. That Shut the fuck up. Yeah,
and people, there's one example of white privilege, and you know what I mean.
It is the only time thousands of white people are cheering for the black kid to win is in the stadium. It is you looking at me crazy if I told you to go back to Europe, even though we didn't have a say. It is you, all of a sudden, having a problem with immigration like this isn't even your nation. How the hell do you discover some shit that wasn't even missing to begin with, you Columbus, our traditions? Had white girls twerking in high definition with multicolored hair and purple nails, but it was ghetto when we did it. Oh, I'm making you uncomfortable. Try a cramped slave ship. But wait, slavery is over now. It's just called the prison system, because like, you're not racist because you don't use the N-word, but y'all use niggas every day. What is white privilege? It is the acceptance of bombs over Baghdad, but not over Boston. It is European history being taught as a major and African as an elective. It is learning about my people only 28 days like I'm not black every fucking second as every white boy.
I think a man should have absolutely no interest in whether he's actually happy or not. If I wake up and I'm unhappy, I will do the exact same things as if I am happy. I will go to the gym the same. I will work the same. How I feel has no impact on how I live my life. I don't think happiness as an index is a healthy view for a man to have on life success. Women are different. Women just want to be happy, right? Women just want to smile. They don't care how. They don't care if they deserve it or not. As long as they get to smile, women are happy. That's women. But I think for a man, if you're waking up and going, oh, am I happy? Am I not? You're looking at life wrong. I think of a man, if you put happiness if you move it down the scale, right? And you start looking at, am I successful? Am I competent? You know, am I achieving things? Am I respected? If you start to look at these indicators of your life, you're going to end up being happier without
sperm to have a baby. We don't really need a man anymore, right? So what happens is that men feel inferior and in turn down us for that.
But that's not true.
It is true.
No, real men do not feel inferior to a woman. Now, a beta male, maybe, but not a real man. And making money and doing the things that you just named is not, that doesn't make a woman at all, because anybody can go out and make money.
Well, I don't understand what you're saying, Jesse.
What makes a woman is when she's not in competition with a man. She understands the role of both. What about a man being in
competition with a woman?
A real man would never be in competition with a woman.
Why? But what if she makes more money and what if she's just smarter?
A woman is not competition for a man. He naturally has authority over her.
Today, let's do Z, Zem, Zer, Zer's pronouns with Jez. Jez loves cooking for Zer roommates. I asked them what Z was going to make this week for the weekly Sunday dinner, and Z came to me with a challenge. One of Zer roommates is gluten-free and vegan, one is allergic to both soy and mushrooms, and the last roommate is allergic to nightshades. Jez has been asking himself all week what Z can make for Zer roommates on Sunday, and told me,
if I have to make fried rice one more time.
So what do you think Z should make? Let some know in the comments and practice using some ZM pronouns.
What is the most unprofessional thing a doctor has ever said to you?
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. So about 3 months ago, I had quite a lot of pain in my tonsils. I looked inside of my mouth and I saw some white spots, which usually means you have a bacterial tonsillitis. For that, you need antibiotics. So I called my doctor, who wasn't there. We were on holidays. And he basically left a voice message on their phone saying that we can go to this other doctor. So I called the other doctor and they told me to just come in. I did, while waiting in an extremely full room during Corona. But anyways, I got called in. He asked me what I have. I told him that my tonsils hurt and I've discovered some white spots. He looks into my throat, and all he says is, well, just drink tea. I'm like, okay, whatever. Ask him for a sick note. I don't want to go to the office and infect other people. And he's like, well, you're not going to the office to kiss people, right? I'm like, what? No? Then he's like, and you're also not gonna... Right? And that was it for me. I get the prescription he gave me, destroyed in front of his face, and called him a big malaka.